to Ricochet. Cover now on Joe. Kick out at 2.
Ricochet has done a fantastic job on capitalizing, striking Samoa Joe right in the ear a few moments ago and just keeping the pressure on. Samoa Joe's equilibrium very obviously compromised, and Ricochet is maximizing the potential.
Yeah, Ricochet's going to have to get the job done soon if he's going to do this. Otherwise, Samoa Joe, when he comes to, is going to be hell to pay.
Samoa Joe in the drop zone. Ricochet heads up to the top rope. Ricochet and Samoa Joe quickly back to his feet. How about the quickness of the champion, though, able to recover. And just like
man.
Cover, hooks the leg, and wraps the head, and a kick out at 2. Ricochet still in there.
That power of Samoa Joe on display.
Not just power. What about the quickness of Samoa Joe? Sudden impact by the champion.
Now it looks like Ricochet, the one with his equilibrium thrown way off. Is the challenger going to be able to get back in this? Or are we about to witness the final sequence and another successful defense for the United States champion?
Goes on his feet, just stalking his prey.
Joe slowly looking to dissect the challenger.
Listen, I'll give all the credit in the world to Ricochet for still staying in this fight and giving it his best effort. But sometimes your best just ain't good enough.
That chop dropped Ricochet to his knees. Not today, Joe. Get for the springboard elbow, caught by Samoa Joe. Went for the full Nelson, nice German suplex. Ricochet.
Did you hear him say, "Not today, Joe"?
By the champ. It's over. Hook of the leg.
Nope.
Still at it.
How? Let's take another look off of the German suplex. A hellacious clothesline from the champion.
Samoa Joe's had his share of classic matches, not just in WWE and NXT. Well, no classic. I wouldn't say classics in WWE. We had a couple of classics with AJ Styles, a Super Showdown and SummerSlam.
And Joe perhaps getting frustrated that he hasn't been able to put the upstart Ricochet away.
That frustration only means bad things for Ricochet, because Samoa Joe just going to continue to grow angrier and more vicious and more malicious.
Muscle Buster.
Joe looking for an arm triangle there. Ricochet.
I think it was the he did look at it. Might have been that Uranagi though.
After the boot to the knee earlier on in this, to the ear earlier on in the match.
Oh my!
I can guarantee you Ricochet's not right after that one.
Ricochet landed with a thud.
Oh.
And now Samoa Joe.
Done.
Coquina clutch. Ricochet up to the top rope, trying everything he can to somehow break the smart move by Ricochet to get into the ropes, and he forces the break on his own.
It was brilliant, but Ricochet also able to draw Joe's neck across the top rope.
Yeah, Ricochet's also got Joe lined up.
Ricochet. Can he make it to the top rope? Ricochet.
Joe had a classic with AJ but TNA AJ and Joe turned.
Here's the challenger. Joe is in trouble. Ricochet. Top rope. Lands on his feet, has to roll through as Joe rolled out of the way. And again,
Ricochet was able to get his feet underneath him.
And then the double knees to the face.
Code breaker.
Almost instinctively, Ricochet was able to minimize the impact of the clothesline. Can the challenger do it? Can Ricochet make it to the top?
Ricochet looking to do it yet again. Joe's in trouble this time. Ricochet top rope. What's Ricochet going to do from up here?
630, obviously, Cole.
If he hits it, we got a new champion.
Yup.
Can Ricochet cover?
Cover now on Joe. Hook on the leg. Ricochet wins the United States Championship. Here's your winner. And the new United States Champion, Ricochet. His first championship in WWE.
Now the United States Championship means something. As much as I hate to admit it. As much as I hate to admit it, but don't get me wrong, SmackDown will always be better than Raw. Period. That's just how it is. I'm sorry. If you don't agree with me, I don't care. SmackDown was, is, and always will be better than Raw. It'll always put Raw into the dirt. But I hate to admit it, as soon as the United States Championship went over to Raw, I'm saying, who the hell am I kidding? As soon as Joe won the shit over on SmackDown Live in the first place, that's when it started to have meaning again. But seriously, Samoa Joe has had his share of classic matches. But seriously, if you haven't seen their Turning Point 2005 match, there's a couple of it on YouTube. They've had some classic. They had a hell of a matchup in TNA. They had a hell of a match in TNA for the X Division Championship. If you haven't seen AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe for the X Division Championship at TNA's Turning Point in 2005, I invite you to go check that out. Probably the best one-on-one champ. Probably the best one-on-one champ. Oh my God! Probably the best one-on-one X Division Championship match in TNA history. The reason why I say one-on-one, because it's not the best X Division Championship match in history in general. The best one-on-one match for the X Division Championship was AJ vs. Joe at Turning Point 2005. That's what I said. The greatest X Division Championship match in general in TNA history was the one with AJ, Joe, and Daniels, Unbreakable 2005. That's possibly the greatest match in TNA history. That's what it was long regarded as. Oh man. There he is. Oh. Heavy Machinery's turn next.
Incredible moment for Ricochet. Being celebrated by his peers. Well, these two gentlemen made a similar